If you're new here, welcome to Your Somatic Life, Love, Leadership and Legacy. I'm Sam Ricks and I help high-achieving women like you break free from self-sabotage by bridging the self-healing mindset and business success, because your mind and body are your strategy. Let's get into it. What is somatic healing and how do you know if it's what you've been missing? Today, I'm answering this powerful question that I get asked all the time. What is somatic healing? And more importantly, how do you know if it's what you've been missing? If you're someone who's done business coaching, you've done the mindset work, you've perhaps purchased lots of courses, bought the programs. I know I did exactly that when I believed I just didn't know enough. If I was struggling with imposter syndrome, I would buy the next one because I believed I just need to know more information and put all the right steps in place. They've done it somehow. I need to know how they've done it. Yet, even though you learn all of that information, you still feel stuck, burnt out, or like you're sabotaging your own success. This episode is for you if you know that this is what you've been doing. I'll also be sharing parts of my own story because I didn't come to doing the somatic healing and coaching through just theory and having just read a book and thought that's good. I came to it through survival, pushing through from loss, grief, identity loss, single motherhood, all of the things that you could think happened in a very short space of time in my 30s, which really put the brakes on my dreams and my goals. And I had to learn how to slowly return back to myself. And it wasn't through knowing more. For a long time, I thought I had a strategy problem. From my previous career in teaching, that things like planning and stuff was never my strong point. If you looked at the chaos and disorganization on my laptop and my filing systems, perhaps the way my brain works, it's very creative, but it is not very well organized. And I always believe that because I have this disorganization, I'm obviously doing something wrong with my strategy, which is why I was perhaps not making the sales that I wanted to make, getting the clients that I would love to work with, and just finding the whole process of running your own business and handling the sales and marketing on your own really hard. Because what we want to do is work with the people and do the healing and the co-regulation with my clients, not have to spend all of my time on social media doing things that I feel I'm not aligned with, that put pressure on me to feel like I'm constantly performing, having to create content over and over again. And I thought there has to be a better way. And clearly I could see people were successful in doing this. So there was obviously something I didn't know. I remember staring at another course that I'd signed up for and thinking, I should be able to do all this. I know this stuff. And just feeling really frustrated in my body. I actually felt it in my arms and in my chest, knowing that I had yet spent more money on things I already knew. And why I just couldn't take the action to make those things happen. I felt stuck. It fed into my thoughts that I'm just lazy and unmotivated, that I can't get going on things, I have many things unfinished. But my body just wasn't on board with my dreams. And I blamed myself for that. And I was very much stuck in my mindset with this, with the limiting beliefs that it is my fault and shaming myself for what I couldn't achieve. I thought I needed to push harder. I needed to get more disciplined, which we do. We do need discipline and we do need accountability. Those things are true. But I fell into thinking I had to be more positive, that perhaps I had a negative mindset. It's very easy to fall into that hole when everything you see on your newsfeed is this toxic positivity culture and these quick mindset hacks. Because let me tell you that, yes, through mindset coaching, which I do with my clients when they're ready, is incredibly powerful. But you are seeing so many people sell it under the quick hacks, the quick tips, things that you can just do quickly, and all of a sudden you're just going to think differently. When your body isn't on board, you cannot think your way through this. It is not a mindset problem when your body is stuck. It is a nervous system response. Most coaches, unless they are a body-based therapist and work from a bottom-up approach in the somatic healing world, your coach is most likely going to be top-down and trying to encourage you to make progress through your mindset. We know that mindset is not what needs shifting at this point if you know that your body is not on board with you. Your nervous system needs safety. And one of the most dangerous places online is social media. If you don't feel safe to market yourself in this modern world and show up to do the videos and the content and deal with who may see it, the feedback that you're going to get, whether it's crickets or people making you feel like you don't know what you're talking about. If you hold these fears within your body, you are not going to make that video. I was in this place for a very long time. In fact, my YouTube channel is so very old and it's taking me a very long time to get consistent with producing that level of content that you want and need to do for your business. We are in a very video heavy, podcast heavy world. We need to learn how to regulate our nervous systems to cope with the pressure and the capacity that you need to be able to do these things that we were never taught how to do in school. We were never raised to do these things through our parents. So now, in our late 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s, for women who have decided they wish to write that book, do that thing that they want to do for themselves, we're having to learn it now as an adult. And that's incredibly hard when our body has been used to operating on survival patterns and systems for decades. So why does strategy not work when you're dysregulated? Here is what I wish someone told me at the very beginning. Your nervous system doesn't care about your goals. It doesn't know the difference between whether you are really being chased by the lion or not. Trying to go live and do a video, which was one of my biggest fears, which is why I bring it up a lot. My body genuinely felt the lion was chasing me before I could hit record. But your body doesn't know the difference. It just knows you don't feel safe. So when success, visibility, money, or even rest has felt unsafe to you in the past, your body is going to block it now. You'll procrastinate, you'll freeze before launching something, you'll have endless unfinished projects, you'll sabotage your rest because you don't feel like you've earned it. So you will work your way to burnout. We don't feel that we can stop and replenish and sit back into our feminine energy. It's not that there is anything wrong with us. It is just your body trying to protect you. It is a survival pattern that you can change. That is what somatic healing will help you do. Somatic healing is a body-based, trauma-informed approach to emotional and nervous system healing. It's about working with the physical patterns of stored stress, old survival responses, and emotional residue that's left living in your body, not just in your thoughts. And it's not talking through your trauma either, because sometimes there's a place for needing to talk through issues with your coach, which I hold a safe space for when that's appropriate. Talking equals intellectualizing. And if we move into intellectualizing, we're actually doing the exact opposite of what our body needs to heal. To heal, we need to feel. We need to sink back into feelings and sensations in our body, and we need to feel the emotion and move the energy. It's not about talking through your trauma or forcing yourself to rehash painful stories, which a lot of old style therapies can keep you stuck in that place doing. It's about learning the language of your body and creating safety and capacity and calm from the inside out. So, what happens in somatic coaching then? When we work together, we use tools like breath work, vagal toning, co regulation, emotional witnessing, somatic inquiry, micropatterning, which is my own specific technique that I designed, having worked with many women now over the last 10 years in many different ways, from body therapies as well as coaching. I have created my own micropatterning pathway that helps you move through the different nervous system states. Embodied presence without judgment or pressure. So you don't have to be good at meditating. I hear that a lot. I can't meditate. This isn't about being good at anything. This is about having the willingness to come home to your body and feel from the inside. When we really start to listen to our bodies, we learn how to do this in moments in our lives when we feel triggered in situations and feel these sensations rising up within us, like nerves, anxiety, freezing, feeling scared or not quite sure. You start to notice that coming up and learn how to soothe yourself in the moment so that you can move that energy, get on with the task that you wanted to do. You start showing up differently, not because you're pushing harder, but because you've learned how to help your body feel safe. Signs that you might need some somatic healing and perhaps embark on this journey for yourself are things that I often see in my clients and within my own journey: doing all the things and not getting results, shrinking or freezing when it's time to get visible, feeling exhausted even after resting, knowing what you have to do but can't seem to do it or take action. You feel emotionally flatlined or disconnected from joy. In fact, you aren't enjoying the process at all anymore, and that's stopping you from wanting to do any of it. Perhaps that then feeds into the flight response, which makes you want to just give it up entirely. Or you keep saying, I just need to be more disciplined, and you are blaming yourself. The truth is, this is not a motivation issue, it's a regulation issue. Strategy cannot override the body. If you've ever felt unsafe being seen, supported, or successful, or even loved, no marketing plan will fix that. No to-do list will override your biology. Somatic healing is what allows your body to unlearn the fear that it's been carrying so that you can finally let in what you're working towards, what you dream about, and what your goals are. When I started working on my own nervous system, something softened within me. I didn't stop working towards my goals, I just stopped forcing them. I dropped the lists, the vision boards, all of the things that I heard I should do that will help me. I stopped doing any of the short 5-second mindset tricks that I was seeing on the internet. I started to just lie on the floor and ground myself in my body through somatic healing exercises and start to feel safer in my own skin. Notice how I was feeling what sensations I was feeling and what I needed that day. Did I need to drink? Did I need to eat? Had I slept? Was I feeling tired? Where was I malnourished? Where did I need to give myself some love and attention? And when I started listening to those elements of somatic awareness and checking in with myself every day, I started showing up online without shaking, without fear, without nerves. I started saying no to other people, to toxic relationships, letting those things go without guilt. And I started letting love in because I was loving myself. I was learning how to let love in from my new partner and slowly building a business that supports my needs on my timeline and doing things that I love doing. So the podcast, videos now, I actually enjoy doing them. I just can't do them all the time every week because I have 3 children, 2 of which are 3 and one who's 6 months. I love writing my blog and I'm writing my book, but I'm doing everything on my own timeline. And I had to stop comparing myself to other people who were, in my mind, ahead. That is the worst thing we can do when we feel dysregulated in our own bodies, is to keep going on social media and falling down the scroll and seeing what other people are doing. I came off social media. You might see me posting on social media, but I am posting probably from a scheduling tool or things are already scheduled out like a month ahead. I'm not actually on social media. I do love TikTok, I'm not going to lie. I will fall down that hole quite frequently when I'm having a rest in the evening, but I'm not on social media. I have absolutely no interest in it at all. I actually really enjoyed the last couple of years taking that time away from Facebook, came off Instagram, and just focusing on the places where I like creating the content, believing that those who land on it, who see it, and who enjoy it will naturally fall into my world. If they'd love to work with me, they're going to naturally do that. Signing up through our reset guide, reading my emails, and I genuinely connect with people through my emails now. That is the closest that we will be together before you actually join the community and start working with me. I am probably like you, feeling fed up with the coaching industry, continually producing these evergreen courses or live group coaching programs, only to not actually even get to speak to the coach, and is all about money, money, and making sales and repeating the process over and over again, you know, passive income, one to many, etc. And that is not what you need. That is not what I needed. I needed someone who could hold a safe space, and I needed to be around women who are on the same path as me so I could co-regulate and not feel alone. And that is why everything I do is based around connection and community. That was what my body needed. That was what my nervous system needed. So I'm not going to market following hustle culture advice. If you're listening to this feeling like everything about that repels you, trust me, you can do it another way, in a way that feels aligned to you and your body. I am doing exactly that. I'll say one thing: success doesn't have to feel like a war within yourself, because quite often that's exactly how it feels, especially in the first 3 to 5 years of running your own business. You are learning everything for the first time and hearing a lot of information from lots of places, and it feels like a huge war within yourself. It doesn't have to feel that way. If you felt any part of this in your body today and you're thinking, this is what I've been needing, this is what I've been missing, I invite you to read this as a full article that I've published on my website, What is Somatic Healing? The Missing Key to Success in Business. I will drop that link below on this episode, where I answer key frequently asked questions about somatic healing. And you'll also find a link to download my free reset guide so you can start doing this somatic work for yourself today in just 7 minutes. The pattern interrupt that you didn't know your body needed, and just see how easy it is to start putting the somatic practices in place to help your body day to day. You are not behind or failing, and there is nothing wrong with you. We've just, in my personal opinion, been taking advantage of a marketing system that has created an industry of billions of dollars that is showing you everything from top-down approach and does not include the body inside any of it. So it's time to change that up and start putting our bodies first. If today's episode resonated with you, don't let that insight stop here. Transformation happens when we take action. I've put together some of my best tools and resources to help you break free from self-sabotage and step into aligned success. You can get instant access just by subscribing at samanthajricks.com/subscribe. And if you loved this episode, make sure to hit follow so you don't miss what's coming next. And I'll see you soon. Take care.